Alright, so welcome back to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. It's Steve here again. Thanks for everyone who's joining me. Hope you'll enjoy what you see. Couple little updates here. Got the Spitfire. And I got the brown painted on, and I've done the camouflage by freehand. We'll see how it turns out. For those who saw the mosquito build, I used putty to fill out these lines, and it worked pretty well. But just to challenge myself, I thought I'd do some freehand today. So yeah, that's what we've got. I finished the propeller, the details there. Yes, I know that the spinner is supposed to be all black, but I like the yellow, so I put a yellow spot on the end. Okay. If you don't want a yellow spot, you don't have to put a yellow spot. Nobody's forcing you. Okay, so we've got that, and we had some extra color as usual. We'll see what I can do with that. Set this aside for now. Doing an update and some painting on the Mark I tank. Painted up the treads. I think I did a pretty good job of looking like muddy metal. And the way I did this, I actually did the base coat of brown. And then once that was dry, I took Q-tip here and I brushed it over. So it looks like, you know, some have a lot of mud, some don't have mud. It's a good mixture, as you'd expect. So anyways, I'm pretty happy with the way that's turned out. Getting on to the rest of the tank here. I did a boo-boo. Before that, I'll show you here. I painted up the 6-pounder gun barrels. I don't know if you can see there. That's a better view there. Yeah. I painted them metallic or gunmetal gray, so they look a little more authentic. And also, I made a mistake. This is what happens when you rush. When I put the guns in the sponsons, I really didn't want to be messing around with all the fiddly stuff in the back there. And it's not that important for me to point these. So anyways, I just stuck the guns in there and they were pointing straight out the side. So that was no fun. So I had to get in there, take those out again, and so now they point forward and up a bit, as you'd expect. But the guns were very good for covering flanks too. So, because the trenches tended to run in a zigzag pattern, not only for reasons of being able to outflank the enemy, but also to limit the damage from shell bursts. Oh, and here's another thing I just recently learned while doing a bit of research. You see all kinds of 172 stuff out there. But you really don't see much 176 stuff, especially newer stuff. So 172 is a great scale. But what I found out was that 176 is actually the same as the British model train 00 gauge. So that's just a little bit of something to know. So I guess that's why they came up with 176 in the first place, was for models for 00 gauge railways. So, and there are a lot of military themed ones too, so that makes sense. Okay, so here we go. We're all back on track with this now, and we're into page 2 of the instructions. Now, what I'm going to do today, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do the wheels. I'm going to put it together, and then afterwards I'll paint it and do the final assembly. So these can go on afterwards. So here's the other thing about instructions. You know, when things are numbered, do it in order of the numbers, unless they say otherwise. Alright? So here you start with the bottom, the base, 23. And then, you know, 24 goes on the back of that. And 25 is the front part at the top. So, and you just go through and follow it numerically. As I said, unless they tell you different. So, okay, we'll take a break here, a little pause, and cut some parts off some sprue. Alright, so we got the parts we need off the sprue. And let's get started here. So we got 23. And 24. We use the Tamiya extra thin here. Okay. And so then we've got 25 goes on the front. 26. Okay, just scrape off a bit of paint there. That just fits right in there like so. Hold it for a few seconds. Make sure it's all aligned. bit more. Okay, so we'll set that aside to dry for a moment. Here's the top. Part number 27. This way faces forward. And so we've got 46 here. Looks like that goes there. I suppose you could glue that open if you wanted to. There's nothing inside to see, but anyways, okay. Okay, and 47 goes here. Dry fit, I guess that's a muffler or exhaust. Little pin goes to the rear. There you go. That's had long enough to set. We get, there you go, 45. See, there's nice detail here. You can see where the hinges are, and then you can see where the hinges go. So you got the right side up. A little extra because there's paint. Okay, we'll leave that aside for a moment. And number 28. Where's number 28? 28. There it is. trim. It sits in there real nice. There we go. Goes in there like that. Here's another tip I might have mentioned before. If you get an area where there's, you know, paint here, might be a pain to get it off. You can use the Mr. Cement or the Tamiya thicker glue, and that'll give you a better bond paint to paint, and because it'll go right through the plastic. It doesn't want to go in. Why don't you want to go in? Okay, so I'll put a bit of black panel wash on that grill. Alright, so that's all that for step 9. Not sure why they have us putting this on first. Well, let's see. Okay, that's that side, that's that side. And it looks like it goes like this. There we go, fits. There's guideline slot. And we got paint, a lot of paint there. Go. Hold that for just a few seconds. And we'll do the same thing here.